On to the first action of the hand. So the dealer always goes first pre-flop. In this case, it is the human who is the dealer, and it's the human who goes first. So the human can either fold, raise, or fold, call, or raise. So if the human folds, then they will lose the hand. They will lose this $5 bet. The computer will win the hand and win this $5 bet and hold on to their $10 bet. So whoever is the winner will always keep their money plus any money that their opponent put into the pot. So the pot is just the total amount of money that has been bet during that particular hand. Okay, so fold, hand is immediately over. 2 new cards are dealt to each player, and the dealer button moves to the other player. All right, so the human can also call here. So calling means to match the bet of your opponent. So the computer's bet 10, the human is bet 5. So calling here is to add $5 more to the pot, so to match it as 10. Or the human can raise to 20. So a raise was when you add more money than what your opponent has bet, and this is where the limit comes into play. So you can only raise one bet size. So a bet size is equal to the big blind. So the big blind is 10 in this game. So you can raise up to 20. So it's one more bet size than your opponent. And the bet size changes actually in the rounds 3 and 4 to 20. So it's always double. So the first 2 rounds, the bet size is 10. The last 2 rounds, the bet size is 20. So the computer will be next to act, and both players always have a chance to act each round. So, well, if there's a fold, then the computer automatically wins, so they don't act. If there is a call, the computer can either what's known as check, which means to do nothing since they already have an equal amount in the pot, or they can raise to 20 themselves. Now, if the human has raised to 20, then the computer now can choose to fold because they can either not match that 20, or they can call the 20, or they can raise to 30. So if they raise to 30, then the action is back on the human. If they call, then that's the end of that round, and you move on to the flop, which is round number 2. Okay, so usually when you call, that means that's the end of the round, and you move on to the next round. A raise is always the action goes on to the other player because they have to decide whether they want to match it. You have to at least match your opponent's bet to move on to the next hand. You can't have one round where the human is bet 20 and the computer is bet 10. No, they have to match exactly. They have to have the same amount of money in the pot to move on to the next round. So the only way to escape is to fold. You either match or fold. If you raise, then your opponent has to decide whether to match, fold, or raise themselves. Okay, so that is the first action. If it's a little confusing, it'll make more sense once we see more of the rules.